Compliance officers work to ensure that their organization's board of directors, management, and employees comply with the rules and regulations of regulatory agencies, as well as with their enterprise's own policies and procedures. Maintaining compliance is a complex responsibility. Officers face a bewildering array of requirements with differing priorities, schedules, costs, and organizational or geographic relevance. Compliance management is also costly. For example, a recent study determined that the U.S. cost per employee for small firms to comply with federal regulations alone averages above $5,000 per year. Yet the cost of maintaining compliance pales in comparison with consequences of non-compliance. Violations often carry stiff penalties, especially when problems were preventable, and consequences are even more severe when there's been a history of non-compliance. A single industrial incident, such as a hazardous chemical spill, can cost a company up to hundreds of millions of dollars if investigators discover regulatory violations. Legal accountability can extend to board members and even individual employees found to be criminally negligent. Compliance officers therefore need reliable processes and tools for organizing, prioritizing, and assigning responsibility for requirements to enable timely, accurate, and efficient compliance with regulations. The main questions surrounding compliance management are straightforward. A compliance officer needs to know what regulations apply. Are we in compliance? And can we prove it? A compliance projects or programs manager needs to evaluate what regulations require action, how important the required action is, who is responsible for its completion, when the action must be completed, and whether it is, in fact, done. While these questions are clear, managing the quantity and complexity of details associated with regulations is challenging. Organizations of all sorts are subject to authorities at many levels, through government regulations, industry standards, and voluntary compliance with societal standards maintained by organizations like Energy Star. An enterprise's own internal initiatives or policies, such as energy efficiency, waste reduction, and green programs, fall into the mix as well. Compliance officers are not the only ones in an organization interested in compliance or responsible for it. Property managers, facility directors, environmental managers, risk officers, CFOs, and COOs are too. Compliance issues often have critical financial and operational consequences that can significantly affect property and facility managers' decisions. Ultimately, everyone in an organization shares some responsibility for compliance. Applicable regulations may range from simple permit renewals to far-reaching complex requirements concerning facility access for disabled persons or toxic chemical release prevention and response measures. The compliance officer seeks to reduce overall liability by documenting and tracking all applicable laws, regulations, initiatives, policies, and programs, prioritizing these, and assigning responsibility for their fulfillment. ARCHIBUS Compliance Management lets users document and track all applicable laws, regulations, initiatives, policies, and programs. Each can be classified and ranked against others managed within this single system. ARCHIBUS provides compliance officers a structured approach to consistently ordering and prioritizing all details of regulations so they can make confident, informed decisions about programs. Our compliance management solution provides recurring event scheduling, notifications, and assignments of location and responsibility at all levels to reduce an organization's overall liability risk by helping to ensure it meets its compliance goals. Compliance officers and managers use the ARCHIBUS Compliance Management application to prioritize regulations requirements, assign responsibilities, and monitor compliance results. The solution provides users with tools to manage what is assigned them. While tracking minute details of compliance activities, ARCHIBUS intelligently aggregates them into a comprehensive picture, presenting the compliance level and status of each location in easy-to-read charts and maps. Using ARCHIBUS Compliance Management to document all requirements and assign responsibility for each one can reduce the risk of costly errors and omissions. The application provides calendar views that inform compliance officers when action has been taken and status reports that document evidence for audit purposes. ARCHIBUS helps to prevent compliance problems and address concerns that still arise through automated email notifications triggered when criteria for a requirement or event are not met, such as when a completion or renewal date is missed. Compliance officers, managers, and coordinators can know immediately when compliance problems need attention. The level of complexity that compliance officers face is not limited to prioritizing and assigning responsibility. They must monitor and frequently report on compliance levels and program status. When a meeting with other senior executives includes regulation compliance status on the agenda, the compliance professional needs to provide objective data that will instill confidence and support strategic decisions. ARCHIBUS Compliance Management provides powerful reporting tools to analyze an organization's individual compliance programs and its overall compliance status. With automated notifications, summaries, and detailed status reports, ARCHIBUS makes it easy for a compliance officer to pinpoint problem areas, including missed or overdue events and violations. Periodic audits can precipitate a great deal of added work and stress for a compliance officer and staff, in part by exposing the quality of their record-keeping practices. Whether preparing for audits or simply needing a facility's most recent inspection certificate, compliance officers confront immense challenges from the variety and sheer volume of documents relating to compliance. ARCHIBUS responds by providing a flexible online document library. The information is secure, auditable, and backed up in the application. In addition to cataloging documents, ARCHIBUS tracks dozens of details for every compliance-related event, including assigned dates and records of email notifications. When needed, users can provide defensible information for every compliance-related communication and event. Implementing the ARCHIBUS Compliance Management application can improve compliance officers' operational efficiencies and significantly reduce the staggering costs, risks, complexity, and time associated with regulatory compliance. Our compliance management system can help organizations reduce their liability risk and minimize or avoid excessive or unnecessary fines and remediation expenses and efforts. ARCHIBUS users gain control over compliance regulations and associated programs, requirements, events, documentation, and audits. For more information on this or any ARCHIBUS product, please request a demonstration today or visit archibus.com.